Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, what's up? Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. So as you saw from the title of the video today, I thought it would be fun and interesting to talk to you a little bit about how to deal with certain type of clients. I know I'm not the only nail tech that has dealt with several clients, whether we have the person that's a little stiff with their hands, the person that talks a lot, that comes in eating, different types of clients. So what I've done is created some different scenarios, and I'm going to show you how to deal with those clients to avoid them interrupting your work so you can speed up your application and your service time and get them serviced and out the door. So we're going to start that right now. So for our first scenario, I know we have all experienced what I like to call the talker. This person comes in, and while you like conversation as a nail tech, sometimes people can be very distracting when they're showing you things on their phone and trying to get you to look at something on Instagram, and you're like, I want to see, but I'm working. You know, sometimes they don't really understand that. So how do we deal with a talker? Let's see what that situation looks like.
All right, so, oh my God, we went out this weekend and this girl, she was at the club. She looked so sick. Like, look what she had on. Oh my God, it was so whack. Like, I don't even know how she wore that to the club. It was just crazy.
So in order to fix this situation when we have a talker, what I like to do ideally is ask them an open-ended question. So I'm not gonna ask them something where they're just gonna respond yes, no, and then jump back to another story. I'm gonna ask you an open-ended question where you can give me a long, detailed answer and I can just work. How's the situation at work going?
So, they haven't mentioned anything yet, but yeah, so one of my customers went and saw where she worked at, and she got so scared because she knew the customer was gonna come back and tell me where she worked at. But you know, I'm not gonna go do anything with her because I feel like she's gonna probably do something to really hurt my job. And
so this usually helps when we have a talker situation, so that they can just kind of tell their story while I work. It leaves me, even if it's a short story and it gives me like 5-10 minutes, that's 5-10 minutes where I don't have to stop what I'm doing to look up at your phone, and so on and so forth. So that's how we would handle a talker. So in today's world, unfortunately, our lives revolve around our phones. So we have many clients that like to come in and they're always on their phone from hand to hand. They want a second to text, they want a second to use, and they don't realize you're getting your nails done. I need both your hands. So they make it a little bit hard. So how do we deal with a client that's like this?
No, you could give me 1 second, Keisha. I need to send this text out real quick. Oh, they replied. Wait, sorry. Sorry.
So how I like to work with clients that like to use their phone is I like to keep them distracted. If I'm working on one hand doing a set, I have them hold their hand up to the light, even if it, the heat helps the acrylic set. But her hands are preoccupied. I always try to make sure she's going from hand to hand. I don't really give her that opportunity to grab her phone as much.
Wait, I'm sorry.
No, the acrylic's still wet. Hold this up to the light. Put the phone down.
Okay.
Let me see this hand.
All right.
Or what I like to do, especially if you're using a UV machine, doing any type of polygel, hard gel, gel polishing, I like to keep the hand in the UV machine. I usually put it at max for about 120 seconds, which we know it only needs 60 seconds. But I like to keep their hand in so they think the light's on, I gotta keep my hand in while I work. And it also kind of helps me speed up my application because I know, all right, when this goes off, I need to switch her out. So that. So that's how we would normally handle someone, just to kind of keep their hands preoccupied so they're not always on their phone. So the next type of client is what I like to call the stiff hands or the looker. So what I mean by that is we've all worked on type of clients and their hands get very stiff. What they don't realize, and what I try to explain to people, is that when they're stiff, it hurts our hands. You'll feel that long string going down your thumb all the way past your wrist, and they don't realize that it hurts us a lot. It can be very strenuous on us as nail techs, so it's very important to get your client to not be stiff. The main reason why people are stiff is because it's a natural reaction. Your eyes are looking at something, so their fingers bend upwards to look at what you're doing, but you need their hand down. So let me just show you this scenario. So in order to avoid this, I have a method that I use with my clients. What I do is I have them rest their elbow, bend their elbow on the table and put their wrist down. I tell them, if you can see, then that you shouldn't be seeing. I should see. You shouldn't see anything. So having their elbow all the way down on the table and arm up and wrist downwards kind of alleviates that a little bit, because they automatically are in a position where they cannot look at their hands and you can see everything, and you'll take the strain off your wrist and they won't be so easy to kind of look at. So another type of client that we have is the scared client. And when I say scared, we have people that have been traumatized by the drill. Unfortunately, people get burned, people get cut with the drills, so they're scared. They've been traumatized. And I spoke about clients that I've had that I've never cut that are scared to death of the drill. It's just a normal reaction. So how do we avoid clients like this? So for scared clients, what I like to do is anytime I'm gonna be filing, this is where it's a good idea to have a TV in the room or music playing or have their phone. I tell them to stare at the TV or look at your phone. They need a distraction so they're not scared. Because again, if they're scared and nervous, they're clenching, they're stiff, now they become the stiff looker, and it all kind of goes into the same category. So what I like to have them do is just look at something else, be distracted, stare outside, whatever is around you, look at this corner, whatever they can do. Just don't look at what I'm doing to kind of take your mind off of the e-filing so that you won't be as scared to think I'm gonna cut you. So what happens when you have a client that I call the indecisive one? We come across these clients all the time. They never really know what they want. They're always going back and forth between which color they want to choose, and they just never really know. So how do we deal with a client like this?
Either this one or that one, or maybe that one? I don't know, I'm not sure. What do you suggest?
So what I like to do in these situations is ask the client, what do they like about this? If it's a design, what do they like about this design? Let's find a happy medium. If you like the colors more so than the actual nail art, or if you only like 2 of the fingers, and let's just do those. We don't have to do everything. You kind of have to be the nail technician and take control of the situation. If it's a color that she's indecisive about, I usually go with the color kind of opposite of what she just had. If she just had a nude, let's go a little darker. If she just had a dark color, let's go a little bit lighter. I'm gonna relieve that. Indecisive people will keep you waiting all day. So what about this do you like? You like the colors?
The color, the way the style is.
Okay, and then this one?
The shape, the way they put this color here on the bottom and then that one on the top.
Okay, so we can do this shape, and then I'll use this color and we can kind of ombre that like that.
Okay.
So you have to just take control of the situation and kind of reel them in a little bit and make the choices for them. So what happens when we have a picky client, a client that doesn't really want to venture out too much? How do we deal with someone like this? So what color you want to do?
I think I only like these 2 out of 4 of them.
Okay. So for someone that only wants certain things, that could be very picky, what I like to do is make gradual changes. So for example, if she's very hesitant or picky about the shape of her nails, I'll try to reintroduce her to, let's go from square to tapered square. Let's go from almond to stiletto. Let's go from coffin back to square. Make gradual changes. Don't jump her from square to stiletto. Don't jump her from nude to black. You want to make very gradual changes because she's picky. And remember, if this is your decision, then she doesn't like it, she's gonna come back, and that's more of your time that you have to spend fixing the problem. So you always wanna make baby steps, and of course, always checking in with your client as you're doing something just to make sure, is this okay? Do you like the way this looks? So on and so forth. So since you always do nude, why don't we go like these light pinks right here? Or if you wanna go a little bit brighter, these are still light, we can go a little bit darker with these pinks right here. So that's how I kind of deal with my picky clients. So this next client, I like to call the expert. We all have that client that comes in, she knows exactly what she wants. She leaves no room for creativity on your end. She wants this picture, how she shows it to you, exactly how she wants it. How do we deal with a client like this? All right, so what are we doing today?
So I want you to do my nails. I want you to shape it real square right here. Make sure this is like really square here. The same style on the sides right here. I want something like this that I picked out. You have this color stone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, something like that. And yeah.
So for my expert clients, what I like to do is do exactly what they want. Whether you like it or not, whether you agree with it or not, as a nail technician, they're the paying customer, so you're gonna do exactly what she wants. If she says she likes this exactly as is, you say you want me to copy it, okay. You copy the picture exactly how it is, because guess what? Now if it comes out ugly, real talk, or if she doesn't like it, whose fault is it? She's the expert, right? She knows everything. She went to nail school, right? You know, we have these clients. So you give those people exactly what they want. And, you know, obviously we're always going to execute it to the best of our abilities. But if anything goes wrong, they're the expert, right? So sometimes, more than often, we have a client that comes in that's very confused. Some people, I mean, I don't want to knock any client, but sometimes people swear that this is like brain surgery and they're like, I don't know what color I want to do. And it's not indecisive, because there's a fine line between someone being confused and being indecisive. Indecisive, they can't make a decision. Confused is they're kind of scattered all over the place. They come in with 101 ideas. They don't want to do any, but they want to do all of them. And it's very confusing. So as a nail tech, how do we deal with a client that's very confused? So you decided which design you want to do?
I don't know. You have so much stuff. I don't know which one I want to pick. I don't know. Maybe you should just decide, because it's just too much.
So again, with the confused client, what I like to do is take control. They are very confused. You have to reel them in. Ask them, like I mentioned with the indecisive, what do you like about this design? What colors do you like to do? We're going to ask these questions to kind of break that down, that confusion down, so that we can get an answer and we can come up with the best design. If it's a client most of the time that you've done before, we know what you kind of like. Even if you're trying to venture out and be different and confused about it, we can still reel it in, take control, and then execute it accordingly. All right, so I have foil. You've done foil before. It's very simple, to the point. And we can put some stones on a couple, and that'll be nice. I think that'll be good for you. So what happens if you have a new client that's confused? That could be a little tricky. So for new clients, what I like to do is basically ask them, what do you normally get? What colors do you normally like? What did you do at the last shop? I'm gonna observe the polish and design that I just took off her nails. I don't know this person, they don't know me. With new clients, it could be a little bit more difficult, because my style might be different than her style. My idea of crazy nail art could be nothing to her, or it could be over the top for what I think is simple. So we always want to make sure we're on the same page. So I always like to ask the questions of, what colors do you normally get? Which designs do you like? I have them look at my Instagram, show me something you like, so I see kind of the vibe that she's giving me and the flow that she likes to have her nails in. What do you normally get? What do you normally get when you go to the salon?
Short, plain, no design, maybe one finger, clear. Okay, so why don't we do something with a little bit of foil? It's not too much, and we'll just do one finger, one color, a little bit of pop, and then we keep the rest this color with the acrylic. Okay, you can try.
That's an easy way to kind of reel in someone that's confused. And then again, we take control and then execute the nail design. So how do we deal with a client that is what I call the eater, someone that is eating while you're doing their nails? Why do people feel that now is the time to eat when I'm doing your nails, when obviously I need both of your hands? How do we deal with a client that's like this? Put this in there.
Right.
So again, a quick fix for the eater is to kind of constantly keep their hands preoccupied. Again, hold it up to the light. The acrylic needs to set. Put it in the UV machine. We have to distract her. Or I will simply just tell you, real talk, you can't eat right now. Or you're gonna, if I put primer on, especially, you can't get anything stuck on the primer. So, oh, you have primer on. I'm always gonna give her a reason why she can't dig her hand back into that bag of chips or put her hands in her mouth. Don't touch your face. You have glue on your hands. they don't really know any better. So we're gonna just try to train them to make my life a little bit easier. Here. So these are little tricks that I like to do to help people not eat while I'm doing their nails. So that is it for the client scenarios. I hope I have provided a little bit of insight and help on how you can deal with different types of clients to help you speed up your service time and kind of deal with these issues. A lot of these issues can be resolved during a client consultation by the confusion, indecisiveness, the pickiness. Leave me a comment below if you want me to do a video on how to do a proper client consultation. What questions do we ask? How do we alleviate these problems? When do we do a client consultation? So leave me a comment below if you would like a video on that. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.